Hi everybody, my name is Jennifer McElroy and I'm the principal flutist of the Allen Philharmonic Orchestra. Today I would like to discuss with you our tone and embouchure. The first thing I like to do before I even start to grab the flute is work on my breathing. Breathing is what gives breath to our music and the voice to our instrument. I would like to teach you a very simple breathing exercise to warm up with. In this exercise, you will breathe in for 4 counts and you will breathe out for 4 counts. We'll do this for 4 cycles, but I will demonstrate once. So you would breathe in for 4 counts, then you would release the air and blow out for 4 counts. Notice how my shoulders are staying relaxed and I'm opening my mouth wide so that I can allow my throat and my mouth to stay relaxed and open. Let's try that together. I'll count us off. 1, 2, ready, and breathe in. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Very good. So things to think about as you're doing that exercise is that you want to make sure that as you're breathing in air, you don't have a high-pitched sound like you don't want a windstorm coming in. You want to feel very relaxed and have the throat relaxed and the mouth open. It's a much lower sound. The other thing I would like you to think about is that as you blow out air, your air sounds steady. You don't hear it drooping or taking a dive. That would sound like this. We always want our air to be directional and to be straight and steady when we're doing this breathing exercise. Let's try it one more time, keeping those things in mind. I'll count us off. 1, 2, and breathe in now. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Very good. The next thing I like to do is I like to work on my head joint. The head joint only exercises are great to reaffirm or to make sure that we are keeping our embouchure set in the right place. Sometimes once we get the entire flute together, it can be a lot to think about at one time, especially if you're still in the beginning stages or if you've only been playing for a year, there's still a lot going on over here. So it's good to go back to our roots and just use the head joint during warm-ups. One thing I like to do is I like to take my finger and put it in that crook of our chin because that's basically the right place for the flute. So what we're going to do is take our finger, put it in the indent in our chin, and then we just lay our lip over that finger. You see how full my lips are? And now all we're going to do is we're going to close our mouth and we're going to say the word poo. Ready? Poo, poo, poo. Notice how my corners are relaxed and tilted downwards a little bit, but I'm not actively pulling them down. Everything is very natural at this point, and you'll notice too that my corners are not going back to a smile. Poo, poo. This is what we don't want to see. We do not want to see the corners going back. Poo, poo, poo. This can happen sometimes when you're first learning or you see someone do a funny face and you're like, poo, poo, and you start laughing. So make sure you don't say anything funny, first of all, and then secondly, make sure you keep everything relaxed before you say poo. And you can think of the bear, the Disney bear, Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh. Pooh Bear. And you see that allows all of this to stay natural, and my aperture, which is the hole inside my lips, is very open and full. Pooh, pooh. We want to keep it in the shape of an eye right there for our aperture is a good way to think about that shape. Next, we take the head joint and replace the finger with the head joint. So again, in the crook there, a good guide for knowing how to place the head joint is to make sure the head joint, the tone hole in the head joint, is facing directly up to the ceiling or parallel to the ceiling. Now we'll say the word poo again. Poo, poo, poo. And now what we're going to do is we're no longer going to vocalize the word poo. We're just going to do it, we're just going to say poo with our air only. So the next step we're going to do is now, instead of just saying poo, we're going to think about directing our air down. We're thinking of directing our air down to, I would say, your knee. We'll do it one more time. And notice too, I'm bringing the head joint to me. I am not like a chicken this way. You know how chickens pet? We are not pecking chickens. So you are going to bring the head joint to you. Okay? And then we're going to do the poos 3 times again with the air, fast air, directing our air down to our knee. You'll also notice that the tone right now that I'm playing with sounds very whole, very full, and very rich. Listen again. What we don't want is for our air to sound thin, or another person I've heard describe it as ziggy-zaggy, or just unsteady. That would sound like this. Or if we pull back our lips, you see how the tone changes. So again, keeping our lips natural in that poo shape. It doesn't hurt to alternate between the finger, poo, and the head joint, just to have the reference point. But again, you notice when I do the poo, have it directed down at my knee, and I have the head joint facing the ceiling, I get that full, rich, whole sound. Another great thing to do is to work on this with that breathing exercise, but holding the note for 4 counts. Once you're done with that, you can take the head joint and put it onto your flute and then try a few tones. I like to do long tones, and that's where I start on a B and I go down the chromatic scale on my flute slowly, usually in half notes or whole notes. Again, making sure that I'm thinking of steady air, keeping my notes steady all the way through. And then also, I'm not in a hurry. That is one of the biggest secrets, is not to be in a hurry. The next thing you can do with that is, well, let me demonstrate the sound that you don't want. What we don't want is a thin sound. Again, that would result in us misdirecting the air or in us pulling back the lips. Again, you see how I'm pulling back my lips into that smiley face? And it's not that it's a terrible sound, it's just not as full sounding as it could be. And we always want the thick, rich, full sound. Another way that I can get a sound that is not the sound that we are after all the time is to aim the air too high. If I aim the air too high, again, my embouchure is just fine, right? Looks picture perfect. However, I am aiming my air straight across, or thinking about it aiming straight across or straight out in front of me. Again, simple solution for that is air direction. The embouchure again is poo shaped, but think of aiming your air down towards your knee. All it is at that point is air direction until you get that full rich sound. The last thing I like to do in my warm-up is do a simple melody. One melody I like to do is Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Somewhere Over the Rainbow, I'm sure all of you know. I play that with as beautiful and full and rich sound as I can, and then I'll try transposing that or playing it in another key, down a half step. That allows me to make sure I'm still working on my air direction, but also allows me different challenges because now I'm on different notes. I hope you find this video useful, and I hope you'll find your own beautiful melodies. Other favorites that I have of simple melodies are Hedwig's theme or even a theme from Lord of the Rings. These are great ways to kind of work on our ear training, which is finding the melody written once and then learning how to play it in another key by ear. I hope you have fun working on your embouchure and your tone. Good luck to all my fluties out there.